welcome to Ninas Knots Crochet. I'm Lynanne. If you're new here, hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. My channel, it's all about crochet, a little bit about knitting, and a lot about yarn, but mostly it's about my journey through this fantastic yarny community. Returning subscribers, thanks so much for coming back, spending a little bit of your Tuesday with me for Tunisian Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about the Tunisian full stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in the tutorial here real quick, and then we're going to talk about it again a little bit more after, because there's more to it than just the stitch. So the little video is going to show you how to do the stitch, and then we'll talk more about it when you come back. Thanks. Okay, so today we are going to do the Tunisian full stitch. And if you've been following along with me, you know I'm using my Mako Mona Lisa yarn, which is a number 4 weight yarn. I am using my Knitter's Pride Dreams number 7 millimeter hook, which is a US 10.75. If you've been following along with this series and are continuing on with your project, we'll get to that in a second. If you are new to this and you want to do a foundation row of single crochets so that it doesn't curl, go ahead and get that done. Today's purpose, I have 10 single crochets. So once you have that ready and you're getting ready to turn your work, remember we never put a stitch in this first stitch because that is always the loop on your hook. So we're never going to do anything in that first stitch. The next stitch over, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and leave it on your hook. You're going to do the same thing all the way down. Yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, until you have the same number of loops on your hook as that was your starting chain or where you left off or whatever your project is. So for me, today's purposes, I'm going to have 10 on my hook. So I have gotten to the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 loops on my hook. And then you always do the same return pass, which is a yarn over, pull through 1, or chain 1 as they sometimes call it. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2, all the way down. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, until you have 1 loop left on your hook. And that is your first row. Now, with the Tunisian full stitch, it's basically 2 rows because you're going to be offsetting the stitches. So in our first row, we're not going to do anything with this first space. We're going to skip that space. And if you have to pull your work apart, that's fine, do that. We're going to work into the next space. We're going to work into this space right here, and we're going to insert our hook into the space, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Then we're going to go into the next space, insert our hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Into that space between the 2 B's, pull up a loop. See how there's the stitch, the front and back? You want to go in between those 2 stitches. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop. Into the space, yarn over, and pull up a loop. See how I'm pulling my work apart so I can see that space easier? You can do that. It'll go right back. And now here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I need to get into the space before the last stitch, before our edge stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, and now I'm going to do the edge stitch. And make sure you're getting both loops. Turn your work if you need to. See, I have both loops on my hook there. Yarn over and pull up a loop. And you will have 10, or how many you're starting with. For me, it's 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 loops on my hook, and you're going to do your regular return pass, which is yarn over, pull through 1, then yarn over and pull through 2, all the way down until you have one loop left on your hook. And done. Now, for the second row, you're going to want to offset that. So you're going to want to use this first stitch, the first space, I'm sorry. So we're going to insert our hook between our first stitch and the next stitch. We're going to insert our hook there. And this is, sometimes this can get a little messy. So you're going to want to jiggle this and make sure that this stays a little tight. And then we're going to go into the next space, insert your hook and pull up a loop. The next space, insert your hook, pull up a loop. The next one, pull up a loop. And you're going to keep going all the way down. See how I pull them out? And you can see the bottom stitch here, you want to go into the, kind of like use it as an arrow. See how here we have a V? You're going to go right there on the top point into that space. And again. And now at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. So I am not going to use this space here. I'm going to skip this one. And we're going to go right into our edge stitch. Making sure we get both of those loops, yarning over and pulling up a loop. And then you're going to do your return pass, which is chain 1 or yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2, all the way to the end. And you have one loop left on your hook. And you can see, I'm going to take my hook out and I'm going to bring it up a little bit closer. You can see how the stitches are offset. So we have 1, 2, and then 1 here, and then 1, 2, and 1 here. It offsets and it gives you this really, really nice fabric. And I'm going to show you on a project that I'm doing how nice this looks. This is the fabric that you'll get when you're working on the Tunisian full stitch. Isn't this nice? And you can see how the stitches offset from each other, and it gives it that really neat, almost woven texture and woven look. Let's do it one more time. Okay. So this one, since we did the last row, we did in that first space, we're going to skip that space. We're going to go into the next space and insert our hook. We're going to go into the next space and insert our hook. And if you're pulling it apart and looking at it, you can see the stitch from not the 2 rows below. You can see like a little teepee, and use that point as your guide. That's the space you want to go into. And into that next one, yarn over and pull up a loop. Into the next space, yarn over, pull up a loop. Into that next space. And now, since we skipped this space last time, we're going to go into this last space before our edge stitch and then into our edge stitch, making sure we get both loops, pull up a loop. And again, I should have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you do your return pass, which is yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way to the end. One loop left on your hook. We do it one more time. Since the last one, we skipped that first space, right? So we're going to go right back into that first space. Then we're going to go into the next one and into the next one. And you can see how the stitches now become a little bit offset from each other. And now, since we used the first space on this row. We're not going to use the last space on this row. We're just going to go right into our edge stitch. And there's your 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 loops on my hook, and do your regular return pass, which is yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way down. And you have one hook loop left on your hook, and that is the Tunisian full stitch. Doesn't that make a nice fabric? That's the back side. Kind of looks like the purl bumps on the back side, but I mean, this is just a really nice fabric. You can see it because I got a bigger sample here, but look how nice this looks, and how it just gives you that really neat woven texture. Now, one of the beauties about the Tunisian full stitch is that you don't need a multiple. You could just use it for however you want. You want to make a blanket out of this. Wouldn't this make a great baby blanket, a thermal blanket? And you could just, it just makes a really nice fabric. So that is, my friends, the Tunisian full stitch. So the Tunisian full stitch is probably one of the easiest stitches because you're working in the spaces, not into an actual stitch. And if you noticed, 2 rows below, you can see the little V, the upside down V, the little point, almost an arrowhead, that kind of guides you to where you need to put your hook so that you're getting in the spaces where you need to be. And it's an offsetting stitch, and it makes I'm planning on making a baby blanket with it. My niece is going to be having a baby in the spring, and I'm going to use that stitch to make him a blanket. I'm really excited about it. But I am actually making something right now. I am making a, I think she calls it a On the Bias Scarf by Heart Hook Home. Trying to get my computer to pop up so I can tell you the name of the actual, what she calls it. She calls it, come on now. My computer's not being happy with me. It's very slow. The Full Skein Tunisian Crochet Scarf Pattern. And it is free on the Heart Hook Home blog. I'll link it in the description box below. And I showed you in the little tutorial, but look how nice this is. And you start down here with 5, and then you go until you get 40 stitches on your hook. So you're never working with more than 40. And then you do a few some rows at 40 to keep it big. And then you go back down till you have 5. The increases on this are so simple because instead of in the tutorial how I showed you on one row you do it in the last stitch, on another row you don't. Well, in this one you're always doing it in the last row, so you're always increasing by 1. So when you see a Tunisian pattern and it'll say make one, they're telling you to use the Tunisian full stitch. If it says to make one knitwise, you go in like a knit and you bring up your loop. It's a very, very versatile stitch. I see it a lot. Well, because I've been mostly making shawls, and I'm trying to make more cardigans and stuff. But if it's a make one, you're inserting your hook and pulling up a loop, and you're leaving it, so you're adding an extra stitch by using the Tunisian full stitch. So it's a great stitch, you guys. And look at this. Doesn't that make a really nice fabric? This is my project that I settled on for Judy's Creations and Crochet. I'm just sticking with the blues and the grays because that's what I have. So yeah, this is what I'm sticking with. I love this yarn. It's making a great project. So gang, that's Tunisian Tuesday. If you have any questions about the stitch or anything else Tunisian that I can help you with, feel free to reach out to me. You can get me on Instagram, Facebook, you know, my Facebook group is available to you. Leave a comment here, send me an email. I'll be glad to help you out as best I can. I am not an expert. I do not claim to be an expert. I'm just trying to share my joy of Tunisian with the world. There, you know, there are smarter people out there than me, but I just think I need to share this because I think it's a underutilized, overlooked craft a lot. Although I've noticed a lot more people are trying to get into it, but it just seems like it's kind of just, you know, a little bit neglected. So just trying to put my joy of Tunisian out there for everybody else to enjoy. Hey, and if it's not your thing, I get it. I totally understand. And I'll talk to you on Wednesday. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a great Tuesday. Remember to take care of yourself and give yourself some grace. But above all, be kind to everyone, and we'll see you Wednesday.